All right. First of all, wow, this feels this feels like pre-COVID for sure. You know, there's no 6 foot, no distancing here. But that's what I love about Orange County. I think like places like this, we just ignored all of the COVID. I mean, it was like a little slice of Texas and California. We're doing. But I had COVID. Anybody have COVID? I mean, we can all admit it now. They're not gonna back a van up to the garage and cart us away. But
15 days on a ventilator.
oh, well, you're here. You survived. Round of applause. I was tired for 5 weeks, but that definitely takes the case. I decided I was gonna try a 5-hour energy. Anybody try that stuff? Nothing, you know. And I'm like, I got to double up on it. I'll get 10 hours of energy. Still nothing. Finally, I found some stuff. I had to go up to Costa Mesa, and it's called 48-hour energy. You probably heard its other name, methamphetamines. Yeah. It was great. Lost 3 teeth, but that's all right. But I didn't so much put COVID weight on. I just kind of redistributed, like, and I had a daughter who was nice enough to point that out to me, as Ron had mentioned. Like I didn't have these pre-COVID, you know. I didn't do that. And the way she did it, she like retexted a Christmas photo. I'm like, why is she resending this photo to everybody? And I looked closely, and she had drawn man boobs on all of my pictures on the frickin' phone I pay for. But I got her back. I called AT&T and said, hey, can you guys change my daughter's caller ID to spam risk? So you guys can use that. That's actually a good trick. But I've been married a long time. I've been married 34 years. Thank you. It's a long time. My wife looked at me the other day and she said, she goes, are you even listening to me? And I thought, that's a weird way to start a conversation. It's not the right reply. We just had a anniversary, and true story, I got her 4 dozen roses, so thank you, Costco. And she said she got a really good deal on it. She got me a submersible trip to go see the Titanic, so looking forward to that. I think she thinks that I'm still hot because the other day she was sitting down and talking to a friend of hers, and I walked by, and I overheard her as I was walking by, and she said, what an ass. So still got it. Who's married here? You got married people. Okay. Sorry, you and you? Okay. And then in between you, is this your son? Yeah, all right. So I'm going to ask him this. What's your name, sir? Alex. How many words a day does the average woman speak, do you think, Alex? You have a buffer, by the way, so you can be honest.
Let's say double, triple
Double, triple. Wow, that is such a wimpy answer, Alex. Alex with no number. It's 12,000 words a day is the average number of words that a woman speaks. So I got like a daughter now. That's like 12,000. That's like 24,000 words coming my way, and she's got this boyfriend, and people are like, Nate. So they're like, what do you like about Nate? And I'm thinking, well, it's not him sitting in the driveway vaping for 3 hours, but he's a good listener. Nate's a good listener. So that's like 10,000 less words coming my way. I love the kid. I love Nate. I was in Hollywood, LA recently, and I don't know if you guys, have you been up there? It's disgusting. It's like, it's noisy, it smells bad, and it's like, my daughter said, what does it smell like? I said, it smells like marijuana, you know. And I grew up in the 70s, so I can say marijuana, you know. But it smells like skunk weed, you know. It's disgusting. So I planned a trip with my wife this summer to go to Idlewild. Get up in the mountains, you know, get the silence and fresh air and all that. And she decided to drive to Idlewild. which usually is not a good idea because we end up getting in an argument because she tends to yell at all the other drivers on the road, and I have to sit there and defend them for some reason. I don't know why I do that, and it's not like she's she's a defensive driver. But it reminded me when I was in high school, I asked my football coach, how do you decide who plays defense and who plays offense? And he says, oh, we put the angry kids on defense. So I'm driving for 3 hours with Mean Joe Green behind the wheel. And this guy cuts us off, and she thinks he cut her off, and she's yelling at him, can you believe that? And I'm like, well, the guy had the right of way, which was not the right reply, by the way. And that anger just turned on me, and all of us, and then stuff came up from 6 years ago, this is just like at Mitch's wedding where you took my sister's side, and I'm like, well, she was right, and then I realized that. So I wanted silence, and for the rest of the 3 hours, I got the silent treatment on the way all the way up to Idlewild, and we ended up, I'm like, oh, this smells so good. And all of a sudden, I smelled skunk weed again, because we ran over a dead skunk in the road, who probably had the right of way, but I wasn't going to say anything. And we get to Idlewild, and Idlewild is beautiful. And right next to us is the mayor of Idlewild, or at least I thought it was the mayor, because he had a truck that had a picture of a golden retriever, and it said, Max the mayor. Turns out the mayor of Idlewild is a golden retriever. I'm not making that up. They voted a dog mayor for Idlewild. And so, of course, we posed for pictures with Max the mayor. And then I realized, what if he smells the skunk weed on me? And what if he used to work for the airport as a drug sniffing dog, And then I thought, he wouldn't be in politics. I mean, who... Okay, he could be the Hunter Biden of dogs, all right? Oh, come on. Joe Biden only sniffs women's hair. Hunter Biden sniffs everything else, all right? That's the first political joke, Ron, I've told in 7 years. Tax day is tomorrow. Where's my wife? We're getting audited for sure. IRS is going to be knocking. But let's see. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Anybody from Cleveland? No. You don't admit it. Very smart. Yes. Don't take my word that it's a crappy town. Like Spirit Airline proves it's a crappy town, because for a wedding it was only $19 to get there for like a hot weekend. But to get the heck out was $379. My dad, growing up in Cleveland, his favorite motto was, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. A lot of kids died in Cleveland. Had to be tough. I've got 3 kids now, and anybody here middle children, by the way? Come on, yes. Yeah. All right, the people next to you know this, but your guys' brains don't work normal. Like my middle son, he didn't drive till he was 19 years old. He's like a very cautious kid. He's never been in an accident. A lot of cars behind him have. He told me he wanted to go to a Bible college. I'm like, sweet, that's going to save me so much money because you only got to buy one book. Not the case. But he ended up graduating. He ended up working as an assistant to an assistant pastor, making a solid 4 figures a year. I remember first time I told that joke, I saw him in the back of the room and he's just going like. It's the business part of the Bible college education, by the way. My oldest son wanted to play professional ice hockey, and he wanted to go to college to do this. So he moves to Nebraska, and they ended up turning him into a fighter. So he's was a really good fighter, but they don't allow fighting in college, so he came back home, didn't get a college scholarship. And I'm sitting around and watching Shark Week, and anybody know what you're supposed to do if a shark attacks you? Punch him in the nose. And if someone's drowning and you're trying to save them and they're flailing about and you almost drown you, what do you do? punch him in the nose. So I got him a job as a lifeguard. His record's 33-0. It's great. Let's see. I think because of the comments from my daughter that I decided I gotta lose a little weight. And this buddy that I know, Andrew, he's like, Mike, come to my yoga class, and he's like, it's a little expensive, but it's a smoke show. He said, like, there's all these like hot women, and I'm like, Andrew, I'm just trying to lose my man boobs, not my wife and my man boobs. And so I found some cheap yoga in San Juan Capistrano. It's a real thing called goat yoga. It's like these goats get up on your back and they help stretch you out. It's great. I like it because it's the only yoga I've found that I don't have to hold in a fart for 45 minutes. Goats smell so bad, you can just let them rip in goat yoga. I play ice hockey, and unfortunately, all these young guys, just because I'm old and slow, and they skate around. They try to skate around me, but I'm old and wily. I trip them. And they don't like that. This one Canadian kid, he called me a bag of milk. It's an insult in Canada, but I've never heard it before. I thought, is he calling me a boob? Like, well, I'm from California. What am I going to say back to him? Oh, stop it, you box of almond milk. It's not the same thing. My wife's Cleveland strong, and I saw this for the first time when our dog George, we have a 120-pound golden retriever, throws his back out like chasing after a ball, and so she takes him to the vet, and the vet says it's going to be a $4,000 surgery to fix his back. So she, in Cleveland, you're not paying $4,000. She has him scheduled to be put down the next day. I'm like, let's see if, and sure enough, it worked itself out, just like when I throw my back out every day, but I guess where my wife's from, if it doesn't kill you, she will, I throw my back out like putting my socks on every day. Am I the only one? I know I'm not the only one, because my kids, as a gag gift, they bought me the sock slider as seen on TV. You ever seen that? It's like, what? Joke's on them. I use it every day, actually. I was back in Cleveland, and my daughter's boyfriend, Nate, who grew up in this whole entitled generation, like they got the participation trophies, and he's not very good with criticism at all. And so we're getting ready, and I'm like, Nate, you missed a belt loop. And then he just goes, Mike, why do you got to be so negative? Thinking, Nate, what the heck should I have said? Hey, buddy, you made 5 or 6 belt loops today. You're crushing life, Nate. Sadly, my daughter and Nate broke up. I guess probably because, he's Orange County soft and she's Cleveland strong. But she realizes she's a very critical person. I was just telling Ron this, that I had just gotten a haircut last week at Supercuts, and she looks at me and my hair was kind of sticking up like a chicken, and she goes, "Where'd you go, Superclux?" But so she says, she's gonna work on the compliment sandwich. Anybody ever heard of this thing? Yeah. It's like if you got to deliver criticism to someone, you layer it with two slices of compliments, and you hit them with the bread, and then you hit them with. And so we're at the beach, and all of a sudden she's like, "Hey, Dad, you know that shirt you wore down to the beach? I really like that shirt. It's a nice shirt." I'm like, "Oh man, here we go." Here comes the, and sure enough, because your man boobs, Dad, are grossing everybody out here at the beach, can you put the shirt back on? That was rough. But I'm like, I could survive that because I knew that final compliment was coming, the slice of bread. So I was looking forward to that. Guess what? It never came. My daughter sucks at making sandwiches, okay? I think Nate got off the hook there. Pretty easy. But let's see. I'm a granddad now. I've got a little 14-month-old running around. Little Dane Michael. I got second billing just like tonight. And so this is a true story. So I'm over there and they're getting ready to feed him. I'm like, what's he eating? And my daughter-in-law is like, he's eating bananas. I'm like, yeah. I want to feed him a banana. And so she takes the banana and puts it in her mouth first. You know where I'm going with this. Chews it up, spits it into a cup, hands me a spoon so I got like Baby Bird, my grandbaby. It's disgusting. I can't wait till the kid's 13 years old and I tell him this story. But evidently, like in your saliva, I read up on this recently, that there's these enzymes and natural immunity and all this healthy stuff. And I thought maybe I neglected my 3 kids growing up. So today I was over there eating an In-N-Out from Double Double. Took a mouthful and shoved it in my son's mouth. So here we go, Mitch, making up for lost time, lost enzymes. Gives you a whole new meaning to the word In-N-Out, by the way. Guys, thank you for coming out supporting live comedy. You're in for a big treat. RobertGLee is just an absolute animal killer, murderer, comedian. And thank you, Ron Strand. Thank you, Upper Room. Good night.
Yay! Yay! So we'll take some pictures. First off, thank you so much for coming. I certainly appreciate it. It's absolutely wonderful. And all of you, you can pretend you like me for the next hour. This will be good. But I want to take a couple selfies. So let's do this. Let's see. Okay, good. Okay, here we go. Okay, over here. Okay, how about over here? Hey, come on, you came to laugh, folks. Come on, give it to me. Come on. Very good. Okay. Now just of me. Talk amongst yourselves. That's fine. Okay, panorama. Hold on, panorama. That's always a fun one. Hold on. Here we go. Panorama. Okay, here we go. Start here and stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Stay. Oh, it just keeps going. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. This is not good at all. This is not good at all. Okay, there. I got all the way around. Okay, very good. Okay, so hold on. Let me just check. Okay. Hold no. That's the new one. Here we go. Right. Next one. Okay, good. Good. Ooh. Your eyes were closed. Ooh, that's a great one. That's a good one. That's really fun. And I look good. I look good. I look good. Panorama's good. Okay, good. Well, as soon as I remember my password, I will post those. That'll be great. Because I have no idea what we're doing. Okay. Ooh, sounds very echoey right now. Doing the Luke, I am your father. Okay, we'll get that adjusted because the recording will start now. Starting now. Very good. Okay. Well, hello. This is good. I just want to. I just have to say this now. I no longer accept society's demeaning description of my demographic, which I believe technically is an old fart. So I prefer pre-geezer. I am codger adjacent. I identify as not dead yet, ladies and gentlemen. My pronouns are huh, what, and get off my lawn. I have a terminal case of lack of youth. I am closer to carbon dating than to actual dating. The only flirting I do is with disaster. My mojo is no mo. My AARP card says R.I.P. What else do I have on that one there? I know there's another one up there. Oh, I have moved from firm to infirm. I have passed my best if used by date. My hospital chart just says ripe. There, that's who I am right there. So thank you. Every time, thank you. So every time you address me, please use all of my preferred pronouns, or I'll be horribly upset, and because I'm an old fart. That's why. So just now, I do want to start off with just talking to some. You're our young person example today. That's what you're going to be. You're one person. Be nice to the people who are further down the road than you. Consider us as signposts along the way about what's going to happen to you. Because it's going to happen. Yes, it is. See, we all hit puberty at about the same time. I think we all understand that. But old age is different for every single person here. It's like you're a car, and you don't know what part's going to go first. You can't relate because you're still under warranty. But the rest of us, one day you get out of bed and for no reason your fender just falls off. And you look down and you realize you're leaking fluid. And one blinker is on the fritz, and your shoulder is out of alignment, and you've got a spare tire all of a sudden, and your seat is sagging, and your suspension is gone, and your headlights are no longer set on high beam. And your muffler must be shot because you're backfiring way more than you ever did. But no matter where you go, you never run out of gas. There we go. That's what it's like. Now, this is not to say by any means that I'm discounting our youth. We need you desperately because you have to pay for all of our Social Security. How many of you ever been behind some old geezer at a checkout line who's never paid for anything electronically before? Okay, that's me, and I apologize. I'm very sorry. But here's how to avoid that. All you have to do is hire a teenage floater. That's all you need. And it'll speed up every transaction. It's like, Gen Z to register 5, Gen Z to register 5. Hello, sir. Hey, take out your wallet. No, the wallet on your phone. That's right. Now, close out WebMD. Very good. All right, now, just get out your credit card. No, the credit card on your phone. There you go. That's right. There you go. No, I'm sorry. No, that's the volume. No. No, you just took a selfie. No, that's a screenshot. No, that's your flashlight. No, you just turn off your phone. Turn your phone back on. Very good. Now take out your wallet. No, the wallet on your phone. That's right. Now there's your credit card. There it is. Now just flip it over and put it on that pad. No, the other way. 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 Sir, the other way. No, the other way. Sir, we will give you all your items for free if you promise to never come back here as long as you live. What this generation can type with 2 thumbs is amazing. I think we can all acknowledge. How many of you spent 2 years in typing class going A, B, 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 C? Where you, I just made 10 TikTok videos, ordered dinner, and locked the front door. There we go. It's like, what kind of voodoo is this? Now, if I have a complaint, and this is not against you, but obviously you're a representative, it would have to be with emojis. Now, as a civilization, we started off with hieroglyphics. We developed a written language. And for some reason, we have come full circle. If this keeps up, in about 5 years, the SATs are going to be so totally different. It's like, if Sally posts a purple angry face, how many kissy face emojis will Timmy have to send Sally to go from poop emoji to smiling cat with hard eyes? Oh. I am officially at the age of life where my wife is starting to get jealous of my doctor, because we meet a lot, we have deep, intimate conversations, and most of the time, I'm naked. So, that's why. A little upset. Now, this latest adventure, I'm going to, because there are all different kinds of people in here, different sensitivities, I'm just going to say it happened to my elbow. Just remember that, it was about my elbow. Because I found a lump in a very sensitive part of my elbow. And everything's fine. It turned out one of my lymph nodes was leaking. Who knew that was even a thing? But it's all corrected now. It's absolutely fine. But it was the list of procedures I had to go through to get to that final diagnosis. First thing my doctor said, it was, Mr. Lee, we should probably shove a camera up your elbow. This is where the analogy breaks down completely, but go with me on this one. So a week later, I'm on a table in a paper gown with a doctor who thinks he's a comedian. How many of you had that? Oh yeah, it's so much fun. And he goes, Mr. Lee, this fiber optic camera is so small, you won't feel a thing. It's the tripod that'll kill you. Ah! And I am on so much nitrous oxide, all I can say is, And here's a fun fact. No matter how much nitrous oxide they pump in you, you still feel violated. Ooh, officer, I know a gentleman mustn't speak of most things, but I was most certainly violated. May I go, or do you have to dust for fingerprints around the elbow? Anyway, now 2 weeks after that, you got the visual image. Sorry, I'll go on. 2 weeks after that, I'm on another table in another paper gown with an 18-year-old female ultrasound technician who examined every square inch of my elbow. And this is where I needed the nitrous oxide, because all I could think to say was, bet they didn't cover this on career day. Finally, after all that, I finally had surgery, and here the doctor, nurses, anesthesiologists were all women. Seriously, there's not a single person on staff with an elbow in this whole place. No, it's and to make you ladies feel good, they put me on the operating table. They put my legs in stirrups. Yes, so they always clap. They always clap. Yes. I was paid back for every bad OBGYN visit anyone has ever had. And so there I am exposing my elbow for the entire world to see on what was evidently Bring Your Family to Work Day, because it was crowded in there. It really was. But I'm happy to say this elbow's fine. It's good. I'm a little worried about this one now, so that's we'll have to see what happens there. About the only other complaint I have about reaching old fartdom is that at this stage of life, I have found, and I don't know how many guys can relate to this, but I have turned into a sentimental old softy. And I don't know, I'm a man from the Midwest where we do not feel things. But I had kids and all the walls came breaking down, and I remember so distinctly when my kids were young, it was like, spouse, come quickly. Our biological offspring have declared feelings of affection for me. Strange, salt-flavored water appears to be leaking from my eyes. It's so bad now. My wife cannot take me out in public. She never knows what's going to set me off, because I will just get so we went to a restaurant, and it was so sweet. They hired a special needs young lady as their hostess. And this touched me so deeply, I called the manager over to thank them for giving this young woman the dignity of a job. Could not get through it. As I just started, I'm so sorry. I just want to thank you for hiring. I just want to thank you for hiring. By the time she left, the manager thought I had special needs. That's what she thought. So she sent the hostess over with a job application, and the money's great so far. It's been really good. It's been really good. So. Now to you. Okay, we're going to find... Oh, I see. Okay. Applaud for sympathy. Good. To you. And this is a question for all of you. How many of you would say that you are, it's a simple question, happy? Okay, you guys are way above the national average. You really are. The national average says only 14% of the population say that they are very happy, which means 86% couldn't get into this show. So good job. Number one thing that makes people happy? Family relationships. Number one thing that makes people unhappy? Family relationships. Yeah, you got that. Happiest countries in the world are people who live in Denmark, Switzerland, and Norway, which isn't fair because they're all gorgeous. Looking good. You too. We hate them, right? We know that. But I found this next on the list. I found this interesting. Next happiest countries, Indonesia and India. And the reason they're the happiest is because their populations are not on the internet 24 hours a day. The reason they're not is because they're on the phone with us as tech support. Telling us how to get on the internet. That's what that is. I think one thing that makes everybody happy is that our national disease is in the rearview mirror. We hope that's true. I don't know how you guys reacted. Remember we first got to go back out into the world again and play again? Remember going to the restaurant the first time? My wife and I could not understand a word the waiter said. It was like they had to wear a mask and then a shield over that and then saran wrap around that. It's like, how safe do we have to be? And I don't know how you spent your time out, but I spent 2 years with the same person in one place. Oh, joy. Rapture. And I love my wife, but 2 years in captivity. I noticed a few months in, my wife started reading a lot of murder mysteries. I noticed that. That was a little disconcerting. Started asking questions like, how much life insurance do we have on you? Ballpark, just so you know. Well, I wanted to give her more space, but after we downsized, our new kitchen, I swear, is so small. It's made for square dancers. You cannot fit two people at the same time. So it's like you got it's like, oh, step to the middle, circle to the right, turn off that stove. No need to fight. All of mine left and do-si-do. Grab those dishes as you go. That's my life, ladies and gentlemen. Now, another question for you is, how many of you think that now that we're allowed to play outside again, how many of you think people are kinder and more tolerant of each other? No, everybody, everywhere I go, no, not at all. We're worse. How else do you explain, when I fly now, people think nothing of tap dancing on the tray table to the back of my seat. People next to me shove their elbow over so far, my internal organs do not have room in my people in front of me lean their seat back so far, I could give a root canal to the person in front of me. And I think I know what the problem is. The problem is people stayed inside for 2 years with no consequences, doing whatever they wanted to do, and now they deserve to be punished. I think we have to punish them or they'll continue driving us crazy for the rest of our lives. So I think the Lord needs to bring back the smite. I think if you smite these people, they will leave us alone. All airline offenders, leprosy. One good case of leprosy, they will not elbow. If their arm falls off, they cannot elbow me. That'd be perfect. So that's me. Okay, that's one. Another one is people who call the random calls you get every single day. It's like, I think they should get thick tongue. That's what they should get. Every time it's like, hello, this is the Canadian Pharmacy. Hello, you would need Viagra or Cialis. No, and they'll keep having the thick tongue until they stop calling us, and then leprosy. So these are my. But how about you? What horrible human instinct comes out in people that you think the Lord should smiteth upon them? Road rage, yes, perfect, yes. People in all traffic. First comment is always about traffic. People who are upset on the road, people who don't drive. And here's what I think. I think everyone who is bad in traffic, the road should just open up before them and they should be swallowed into the earth. That's what I think. They're already on the highway to hell. Let's just help them out. Let's just take them there. Okay, we got airline, we got thick tongue, we got road rage. What else? Oh, you're a very friendly crowd. Nothing else bothers you at all. All right, I'll give you what. This is what I heard. People who cannot enunciate. Exactly right. I think people who cannot enunciate clearly should get boils on their elbow. That's what I think. That's what I think. I heard something about an electric bike. Was that what I heard? So people who just kind of weave in front of you or something? Because I want to get an electric bike. What should I not do? Don't what? Don't be a 14-year-old. Don't be a 14-year-old. I'll work on that. Thank you. I'll try as hard as I can not to go back in time. Don't drive it like it's a car. Okay. Which means I can't have my wife behind me? Okay. Don't do that. So there are rules, and you have to obey those rules. So I just want to get one to go on the beach. But evidently, okay, electric bikes. Okay, well, let's just turn them into pillars of salt. That'd be fine. And let's put them in Costco next to the food samples. That'll be fine. We're venting here. It's good. You got to vent. You got to get it out. People in concerts who sing louder than the singer on stage. Oh, I hit a chord, and they always sit right behind me the whole time. I think for them, smiting by shark, who has leprosy. I think so they can go out screaming. So we have electric bikes. We have sharks. Anything else? Phone conversation. Thank you. Yes. People who are just, I own the world, you should all listen to my conversation. And it's like, don't you just want to walk up to next to, whenever that happens, I always walk by, they go, oh, your table's ready next time, it's stripper or us, come on out here. It's like, I just say it as loud as I can. But yes, the people just think that they're not in a private conversation. So them, I think possibly leprosy, boils, and salt. I think the whole thing. They should get all of it because I think they're excessively rude. So we have all these things. And if the Lord would just do this, it would just. Oh, one last one. Parking. When I'm in a packed parking lot and someone goes in their car and they just sit there and they do not pull out and they're just scrolling through their phone. I'm honking. I'm waving. They should spontaneously combust. That's what I think. right after they pull their car out, so I can get their thing. So we have traffic, we have electric bikes, we have phone conversations, and we have bad people in concerts, and of course the parking. And all those, the Lord should smite them all into next week. So we'll be happy because they'll know we are Christians by our love, by our love. I always tell people, hey, smote happens, ladies and gentlemen, smote happens. We good? Have we vented now? Are we okay now? Okay, good. Actually, this is the part of the show. This is the fun part where you get to vote. And because I don't know which way I'm going to go with this one, but I'm going to do my entire life in either about 3.5 minutes of impressions and songs or an hour of interpretive dance. And not to influence you, but the 20-minute segment on puberty done through ballet and tap is, I've been told, quote, unforgettable. So so we have a motion on the floor. How many are in favor of anything but dance? Say aye. Aye. And how many want to see me humiliate myself in tights with jazz hands? Aye. We have a few sadists in the audience. All right, very good. All right, well, while Georgia counts the mail-in votes, I will. Oh, hit a hot button on that one. All right, there was a bit. I will just do my entire life in 3.5 minutes of songs, or for you, the longest TikTok video ever. Now, I was born in the 60s. I think a lot of you probably can relate to that. Born in the 60s, and it was a weird time. But people today, you can't even relate to what I went through unless you watch hard-hitting documentaries like Gilligan's Island and Bewitched. Go watch those. Tell us and get a report. So this is my entire life in about 3.5 minutes. Okay, so we'll just start off. It's like, tall and pale and young and homely, the boy from Indiana goes walking, and as he's walking, the girls he passes go, ew. Whenever I liked a girl in junior high, I'd walk behind her and go, I want to hold your hand, which never got me a single date. A couple detentions, but that was it. Then my voice dropped. I was like, hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Had my heart broken a few times. I did not have relations with that woman. Then I went to college and I saw the cutest girl in this lecture hall right in the middle. And it was like, some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. And he used my best pickup line. Tonight, we've got a really big show. We went to the best first date ever. We went to a Looney Tunes retrospective and we laughed ourselves silly. I was certain I had found my sweetheart. And before I knew it, I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, the bells are gonna, my precious. Before we knew it, we had kids. Be very, very quiet. Moved up to Hollywood because I was going to be a star. It should be happening any day now. About 20 years in, our marriage needed a little course correction. You're making me very, very angry. We went to therapy. My wife liked it so much, she became a therapist. Yes. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. The recession of '08 hit, my cash will run out tomorrow. Wonder how much more they'll let me borrow till there's none. To make ends meet, I took a part-time job at our church. Wow, isn't that special? And they brought in a new pastor, and he fired me on Ash Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, our church gave me up for Lent. That's what happened to me. There's not a mistruth in this whole thing. Then the kids moved out. I'll be back. The in-laws moved in. You're going to need a bigger boat. And then COVID hit. It's the end of the world as we know it. And somehow the fates aligned and we all came together tonight. Are you not entertained? What if this is as good as it gets? And that's the way it was. Abadi, abadi, abadi. That's all, folks. Boom. And now my entire life with jazz hands. Here we go. Okay, no, that was my entire life. Okay. What else do we have? Oh, we'll go back to you. How many of you, Mike already asked this once, but just for me to know, how many of you are right now in a relationship? Let's just survey. Okay. How many are happy in that relationship? Did you see the men? The hands went up longer. No, I'm very high. I'm very, very happy. My hand was up the entire time. It did not lower. I'm so happy. The ceiling is not tall enough to reach my hand. So who's been married the longest period of time? I always like to find the longest. More than 30 years, let's say. More than 30? Very good. More than 40? Got 30, got 40, got 45, 40, 45? 40? How many? 50? How many? 51? Are you alone? Doesn't count. Okay, we'll go on. How many for you? 52. 52 brings it home. I think we have a winner here. Oh, wait, no. 54. If only you'd met sooner. I'm so sorry. You came so close to winning this evening because you almost got a bass guitar out of it. I'm so sorry that didn't work. 54 for you. All right, so now here's the important thing. What is the secret to your success? She's so beautiful. Quick on your feet and a liar. I like that very much. She is so beautiful. Yeah, that's a wonderful answer. That's very good. And you thought that you wrote that down before you came here tonight. That's very good. I met one couple. They've been together 70 years, and I asked them the same question, and they just said, I asked, how have you been together such a long period of time? And he said, through the grace of God. So I said, so you don't even like each other anymore. If it wasn't for God, you would have left years ago. It's like every morning, oh, dear Lord, they're still here. Oh, Lord, smite me or smite them. I don't know. One of us. Another couple said you should have a sense of humor. You should always laugh every single day. So when they get out of bed, they look at each other and go, ah! It works for them. Now you guys, I'm guessing a little bit younger, a little bit, and still have that new car smell. How long for you? Engaged. Very nice. Now, okay, all right. Here's the big question. Proposals are so big now that you have to go all out. How'd you propose?
My parents met in Yellowstone, and we went out visiting, so I did it at the base of the Grand Tetons.
That sounds good. He was watching Yellowstone, and he did it at the base of the television. So he's at the base of the mountain, and you proposed.
Yes, in the Grand Tetons.
And did you say yes immediately, or did you think about it? There's the ring. Da-da-da. See, it's so cool, and people have to go on adventures now and do big things, and it's just that's so much effort. That's one. In my day, you just showed up in a tuxedo, boom, you were done. That was it. It was like, you free this afternoon? Let's go. But I've been together for 42, so you guys have a long way to go. Not as long as you. You guys are ahead of us, but 42. Just think of that. That in dog years is death. That's what that is. And as I said, my wife's a marriage and family therapist. It's absolutely true. And that's odd. I'll just say that because every conversation we have, after about 50 minutes, she goes, well, that's all the time we have today. Now, in our good news, our son got married 2 years ago during COVID after trying 3 times over COVID. Didn't even go to the same girl, just kept asking until somebody said yes. And that was it. But he asked for advice on how to stay married, which I thought was very nice. And my wife said, every marriage should have goals and aspirations to keep the spark alive. So that's your advice. Have goals and aspirations to keep that spark alive. And so I started thinking, all right, what are my goals? After 42 years, what are my goals? And I realized my number one goal is to find out why our bed has to be covered with so many pillows and comforters. It's absolutely true. Most days, I cannot find my wife. I'll be honest with you on that. 2 weeks ago, I gave a half-hour massage to a duvet. She was not even there. She was not even in the room. I was hot and ready. She wasn't even there. So that's my number one goal. But my wife's goal is even better. My wife's goal is to find just one pair of jeans for me that do not have a saggy butt. That is her entire goal. That's how far our goals have dropped in our marriage. And she knows better than anybody, it is not the jeans' fault. Because after 42 years, I have lost my buttocks. They are gone. It's like I'm now built like Gru from Despicable Me. Do you know that? It's like he's like all leg, no butt in the gut. It's like there, boom, there you go. And I was worried about being bunless for a while because you sit in a chair, you just slide right out. But then I thought maybe I'm just being raptured one body part at a time. That's what I'm thinking. They had that whole series called Left Behind, so I figured that was what this is about. My advice to my son was to always be honest and open with all your feelings and emotions to your friends. When it comes to your wife, shut up. That is for you. If you feel the need to express it, repress it. If you want to lip it, zip it. Because this has been a lifelong lesson for me to not go with my first knee-jerk sarcastic reaction. Because that's just me, because I thought I was funny, because I'm a comedian. No, I made mistakes. You ever burn your hand once, and you know how you never do it again? Not when you're a comedian. When you're a comedian, it's like, ow, 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 ow. Why is she not happy? Ow, 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 ow. What did I do? 10 years, ow, ow, ow. 15 years, ow, ow. Finally, 20 years, I finally caught on. I was free to express myself and however I felt, or I could stay married. So now I have a list of 100 things I can never say again. You know, they're bad jokes, they're bad things. She doesn't like it. 100 things. At least when I die, I know I hope be like my grandfather. When he died, he was up to 3 words, 2 grunts, and 1 particular hand gesture. That's all he had left. Anytime any question comes out of my wife, it takes me about a half hour to process enough to get it. She'll just say, "You want to go to the store later?" I say, "Oh, that's number 95. Can't say that one." I say, "What's that? No, I can't say that. This is funny. No, that's not funny to her. That's funny." I was like, "Ah, I can't say that again." I was like, "Ah, I would love to." And that's I've been married 42 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it stuck out. Yes, thank you. For our 41st anniversary, we splurged and we went to the Bahamas. It was very, very nice. It was great. And man, I'm telling you, blackout shades and no internet are a deadly combination. We would hit the beach every day at the crack of noon. And I don't know how, we've been married for 42 years. So we know we're not in the best shape. So we cover up like decent humans. I was 1 headscarf away from a burqa. That's how much I was covering up. But in this place, oh, the body positivity. Oh, the confidence. It was like body positivity on steroids with a side of butter. It was like, wow. We turned the corner. It was like, whoa, Bahama Mama and Bubba. Wow. You had to admire the effort it took to cram all that into that. It was like, wow. It was like I've never heard a Speedo cry for mercy before. And I wanted to sit next to him, you know, for the shade. But then my wife was afraid their suits might explode. And I will never forget the image of them rowing in the surf. If I close it's burned in my retinas. It will not leave. It's right there. And so, but for our romantic getaway, I wrote a little poem for my wife. It's like, surf, sand, steel drum band, frozen drink and wife in hand. Leave your cares, come and play. Through the nose you'll have to pay. Bosoms and bottoms on display. Have a howl. Well, when I said I was going to make a mistake and do it over, we're just going to drop it entirely. I forgot that. The longer you're together, you're going to find out something. You're going to find out that no matter how hard you work, you're still going to have minor areas of difference. You're going to have a couple things. You're just going to see things differently, which is absolutely fine. My wife and I, our difference is on how we have guests over and how we entertain guests. I don't know about you, but my theory is, if a room is messy, shut the door. If they walk in, that's on them. But my wife has a degree in presentation. Everything must be done according to order. You would think in 42 years I would have put out the appetizers correctly 1 time. No, not 1 time. Now, I came close in 2008. I was disqualified for over wheat thinning. Every time we have guests over, it becomes, for my wife, an emotional Broadway production. She just comes out and says, "To impress all our guests, clean the house, it's such a mess. Put some meat upon the grill, my dear, and I will do the rest. Let's not say who's in charge. You're the private, I'm the sarge. Here's the bakery, it's delicious. Listen to me, not those dishes. Pour the wine, take a chance, maybe shower, put on pants." All right. This is why men barbecue, ladies and gentlemen. That's an absolute fact. We would rather be outside under the hot sun over an open flame than be inside and told that shrimp clashes with that plate. So I'm out by the grill. I become the rawhide guy. Keep grilling, grilling, grilling. The hunger pains is killing. Your bellies I'll be filling. Rawhide. I'll cook it to your pleasure from rare to leather. Pulled pork and wings served on the side. Grilled up. Wolf it down, grilled up. You'll have to look that up when you get home. It's called rawhide. Okay, back to you. How many of you think, I found out about happiness, but how many would say that you have some kind of faith? Oh, that'd be faith. That'd be me. That'd be me. Okay, very good. All right. Well, we're not entirely gone yet. That's good. All right. But then the fastest growing religion in America today is a people who do not believe in religion. They're called nuns. That's what. And my wife says, make sure you tell them that's the box that they check. They check the box nun. So they're called nuns, not to be confused with nuns. If you saw a nun in the street, you could recognize her by her habit, unless she's out of habit, in which case she's a nudist nun, which you may, so you may have a nun on your, anyway, it's all very confusing, is what it is. My faith walk, I was raised in the Presbyterian church. And I had a home too. It's not like my parents came on Sundays and just visited and said hi. Although I think that probably crossed their mind. We had a big, majestic church with big, majestic hymns, with a choir that was so old, most of them knew Jesus. That was my theory when I was growing up. And then to stay contemporary, they brought in praise music, which is just like hard rock, but without the hard or the rock. And they make up for not having the depth of traditional hymns by singing them 10,000 verses at a time. That's how they get through that. And so I become the curmudgeon in the back of our church, just criticizing. It's like, maybe it's not how I feel. Maybe it's about God. And so later, the ushers have been seating me in the overflow room, otherwise known as the parking lot. That's where I am a lot of the time. But then I found a different style of music and a different style of praising, and maybe you've heard of it. It's called gospel. Oh, I'm telling you, it has a thing. I want to get this right. In this music, it's called rhythm. And so when I hear it, my hips just start to move of their own accord. It's like, what is happening here? What is going on? And then my hands start clapping, and it's like I just get so excited. It's just so. I don't know if you've done. I went to a Kirk Franklin concert. I was so excited. If you've heard of him, he sold like 19 billion albums. But be very careful when you go to these concerts, because if you get behind a big church lady hat, you cannot see him at all. So I have no proof he ever came out on stage. But it didn't matter because this Presbyterian got his groove on. I was clapping on the offbeat and praising out, the occasional, okay. That's the way I was doing anyway. And so they put me in the overflow room. All right, we'll go on. All right. And here's my question. In praise music, and this is, it's a quibble that I have. In praise music, all the praise songs seem to be happy and light and let us know that we are loved. I am loved. God is blah, blah, blah. Why don't we have one song that tells us how broken and despicable we are? Okay, maybe that's just me. All right, but I have written a song to take care of that very thing. It is based on the most confusing verse in all of Scripture. This is Romans 7. You can look this up when you get home as too. And so this is just to balance it out, just to have at least one song about who we really are. Oh, I don't understand what I'm doing because I don't do what I want to do. But if I do the very thing that I hate, then I agree the law is good. So it is no longer I who do what I don't want to do, but the sin that lives in. I realize it's more of a pirate shanty, actually, than a traditional praise song. But I think variety's good. So the good that I want to do, I do not do, but I do the very thing that I do not want. Here's the great one. Oh, wretched man that I am, who will set me free from this body of death. There are not nearly enough songs about this wretched body of death. I will go to the grave. So writing the song is so much fun in my car. I'm just driving along going, so, and it's like, people avoid you on traffic when you go, so, it's just a lot of fun. So it is no longer I who do what I don't want to do, but the sin that lives in me. Yes, it is no longer I who do what I don't want to do. Everybody bring it home. But the sin that lives in me. Amen. Oh, that was good. I like that. That was great. Very good. Very good. Now, if you like that one, I've got one for the offering too. Okay. So you can't love both money and God, if you'll hate the one and love the other. No man can serve two masters, so give us all your cash. I think that's a great one. And I'm working one about harlots, but that's more of a work in progress right now. So anyway, Romans 7, you can sing it tomorrow in your church. That'll be absolutely fine. So there you go. You're clapping, but a lot of people consider that inappropriate. And folks, I got to tell you, everything I think of in church is inappropriate. How many inappropriate thinkers do I have? Do I have anybody? Okay, thank you. And I'm not talking about those kind of thoughts, sir. I have those too, but not in church. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm talking about just those little things like he's talking, the pastor's up there, something's happening, and your mind just goes over. And my mind, this is the way my mind works. From the time I was a kid, I heard that when we pass over to the other side, we'll be comforted in the bosom of Abraham. How many have heard that? A lot of heads. And from the time I was a kid, I'm thinking, of all the bosoms, you're way ahead of me. Out of all the millions of bosoms that God has to offer, why would he comfort us in some old man? I think we would get a lot more atheists if we just offered them somebody else's bosom, anybody else's bosom. I think that'd be fine. It's like, let's call it what it is. It's a spiritual booby prize. Have that over there. Or Abraham, right over there. But that's inappropriate. Oh, no, you can't say that. Another time, I was in church, and the pastor, he's reading the verse. He goes, hey, don't worry about anything. The birds of the field don't worry, and God takes care of them. And I'm sitting in the pew going, that doesn't help me. All that tells me is I'd be a lousy bird. I'd be out there going, oh, look at the worm that Rockin' Robin scored. Oh, boy. I got up early for nothing. Probably all the good worms are taken. I'm out here working my beak to the bone, but does the wife appreciate it? No. Always squawking for a bigger nest. And every time I feed the kids, they say I don't regurgitate it right. I don't know why the bird is smoking. I really don't. I think that's not, but it just feels right to me. You know, it's also inappropriate, obviously. But the best one is one time the pastor was talking, and he kind of offhand made a comment. He says, I just wonder why Jesus never married. And I was in the pew going, I can answer that one. Because if Jesus was married, this is what he'd hear every single day. Whoa, hold on. You're telling me you healed 12 lepers and only one came back to thank you? You go back and find those ungrateful lepers and you unheal them right now. I'm telling you, people are taking advantage of you. You feed 5,000 people one day, you feed 4,000 another day. There's that water to wine stunt you pulled at that wedding over in Cana. People come here every day. Do you know how many people come here looking for a free lunch? Well, of course you do. You're God. But still, is this our home or a deli? Huh? I have had it. And another thing. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Our fall festival's next week, and the woman next door, she died, and she had all the plans in her head. Could you go over there and raise her back from the dead for like 10 minutes? That's all we need. Because she did not write anything down, and we just need to find out how many knishes, how many dreidels. We got to figure this out. Thank you so much. Oh, and this is the last time I'm going to say it. Please, and I don't want to be a squeaky wheel, but when are you going to fix our front door? You would think after marrying a carpenter, we would have a front door that works. Especially from someone who says he is the door. But no, we have to have doesn't. Where you go? Where you go? Where you going? Oh, to pray again? That is the 4th time this morning. All right, say hi to your dad for me. Okay, fine. Inappropriate. I get it. So, and that's why this is why my wife and I are currently looking for a new church, one that accepts inappropriate people. And because in my just being on this planet Earth, I have found that most people think that Christians are, what's the word I'm looking for? Idiots. So what I've done is I actually wrote a book looking at the intersection between faith and science. It's called What's the Big Idea? A Comedian Explains God, the Universe, and Other Minor Stuff. You're welcome. It's available on Amazon.com. I'll wait. While you're doing that, okay, I'll give the rest of you some facts while he's looking it up. Now, just fun facts for you to know. I don't know if you know this, but our planet is currently just sitting in space, held up by nothing. I repeat, nothing. Frankly, that freaks me out a little bit. And it's not just staying still. It is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, while it goes around the sun at 72,000 miles an hour, while our solar system careens around the Milky Way at 720,000 miles an hour. Every time you walk outside, we should throw up our hands and just go, whee! Makes that 50 you're doing in the school zone seem rather insignificant, don't you think? We also have 9 habitable zones that we can't find on any other planet in the entire universe. We have a planet tilted just so with the moon to stabilize that tilt and just enough gravity that keeps oxygen here but lets methane escape. Do you know what a gift that is? You do. You thought of it as soon as it's like, otherwise our whole planet would smell like one big cow fart. I think that's just amazing. Our planet weighs 6 sextillion tons and is gaining weight every single year. It's so hard to lose that sextillion, that last sextillion. You know, but although we should know, most of that's water weight, so we shouldn't get mad. That's fine. Now, if all the planet stuff doesn't amaze you, the contraption you're walking around is absolutely stunning. It is absolutely stunning. Do you know that your bones completely replicate themselves every 10 years? So much better than all at once. Don't you think? It's like, oh, sorry, new bone, sorry, new bone. Oh, wow, that was quick. You get all new skin every 2 weeks. Mine's coming in all saggy now. I think I'm out of warranty, unfortunately. Taste buds. You have up to 10,000 taste buds, while chickens only have 30. It is the ultimate irony that if you fed a chicken to a chicken, it probably wouldn't taste like chicken. Your heart beats 36 million times a year, pumping blood through 100,000 miles in veins and arteries to supply nutrients to your 50 trillion cells. You may have days where you feel insignificant, but on a microscopic level, every single one of you is flat out amazing. And if we had to think of even a tenth of what our body does on automatic pilot, we would be totally hosed. It's like, okay, swallow, heartbeat, breathe, filter toxins, bladder, sphincter, blink, heartbeat, whatever you do, liver, do it, breathe, blink, swallow. Red blood cells. I need blood, bones, replicate, skin, bladder, sphincter, what happened to Bill? He forgot something. I don't know what it was. He was gone. If you look at the incredible fine-tuning that was necessary to make the universe, our world, and our bodies, to think that it all happened by a long series of random accidents, for me, is a little hard to swallow. Which, by the way, takes 50 different pairs of muscles to accomplish one particular swallow. That's my book report by Bobby Lee. There we go. All right, so. We'll close up with this. How many of you are excited that we get to have a front row seat to see the end of civilization? Don't tell me you missed it, because I woke up one day in opposite land. It was like, when I grew up, we had 2 genders, 2 pronouns, and if we got caught in the wrong locker room, we identified as suspended. It is the strangest culture that'll accept the most wild and crazy behavior, but somehow it is so upset about Dr. Seuss at books he wrote in the 40s that they've canceled them. It makes absolutely, it's like, we are offended in the air, we are offended on the stairs. You were canceled here and there, you were canceled everywhere. In a box with rocks and a head full of socks. I don't know, it's just, how does it, we are very selectively outraged. Some things we let go, but other things, like our current parade of profanity, just kills me. Curse words are on everything. Onesies, baby onesies, and hats. And that's everywhere. It's like S-bombs, F-bombs, bombs they print on socks, flirty words, cursing around the clock. George Carlin, 50 years ago, remember, he wrote that great routine about the 7 dirty words you can't say on television. Guess what? You can say half of them on Sesame Street now. It's like, 1 pet of beep, 2 pet of beep, This is getting depressing. We'll move on. All right. The latest icon to take a hit was Disneyland's Pirate of the Caribbean. That ride. Did you guys hear about this? Somebody went on and was outraged that pirates drink rum, chase women, and steal treasure. It was like, well, not on my watch. And so they had to change the ride to keep the people happy. Meanwhile, across the park, Peter Pan is kidnapping children in London, and nobody cares about that. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is one long DUI. Nobody cares about that. You have to take out a line of credit to buy a churro. There's no parades against that. But Pirates of the Caribbean, you stop those pirates from doing piratey things. Oh, it's like, now, they did. They changed the entire ride. Now when you go by the prison, it is, you hear the Serenity Prayer. That's what you hear. Like, dear Captain, give me the courage to accept the plunder the booty I cannot plunder, and the courage to accept the booty that I can, and the savvy to know the difference. Amen. The song's totally different. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We pillage, we plunder, we ask for consent. Trafficking's wrong, yo ho. It's just, I think our life is over. It scares me. Up in San Francisco, on the very, very important things, if you're in the criminal justice system, you can no longer say words like convict or felon, because those are considered dehumanizing negative labels. Absolutely true. Now you have to say either returning resident or currently incarcerated guest. Not making that up. 100% real. Juvenile delinquents are now known as youth impacted by the justice system. I thought they were gangbangers that got caught. That tells me how much I know. I think we should do this for everybody. I think bank robbers should be known as unauthorized short-term loan recipients. Drug pushers are do-it-yourself pharmacists. Looters are department store excess inventory liquidators. It's almost like we're calling evil good and good evil. It's like if only someone had warned us about this years ago. If only there was a book that would tell us about how to correct society's ills. Note to self, find book that cures society's ills. Wish me luck on that one. I think we've come to the point in life, and I think we can all agree, that if we have to agree with the great theologian Ozzy Osbourne. We do. Who just said, we're going off the rails on a crazy train. No matter how crazy the world is, I'm trying as hard as I can to have an attitude of gratitude. And that's incredibly difficult because I'm me. And I don't say, I'm not excessively negative. I'm a creatively courageous communicator. That's what I am with criticism. And I try. I do try and change. Every time I try and change, though, and I try and be nice or I try and do the right thing, I just hear the voice of God whisper in my ear going, no, the other way. 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 What do I have to be grateful for? So much. During COVID, the only way we made it through, honestly, was through the grace of God. We got SBA loans, we got stimulus checks, we got residuals, and every once in a while our neighbors wouldn't pick up their Amazon package, so we'd get a bonus. So that was great. I wake up every single morning and I swim through a pile of pillows and comforters to find the surface, and to wash myself, I don't have to go find a river. I just go into a little magic room and turn knobs on the wall, and like Moses in the desert, fresh water comes out. Isn't that amazing? Yes. And then to break my nightly fast, I don't have to forage or milk a cow or grind oats. I just go down to my Rubik's Cube of a kitchen, open up a large refrigerated box, and eat whatever my wife tells me I want. Isn't that amazing? I spend my days in front of a computer chasing gigs and gags. The fact that the world has allowed me to make a living through laughter for 35 years is a bona fide miracle. 100 years ago, I'd have to work in a factory. 200 years ago, I'd be a farmer. 500 years ago, I'd be the court jester. And in each of those occupations, I'd be dead by now. If I have a gig out of state, I hop on a 400-ton metal magic bird that, just like methane, defies the laws of gravity and can fly me anywhere in the world as long as there's a connecting flight in Atlanta, Dallas, or Chicago. Isn't that amazing? Yes. Yeah. And when I go to bed at night, I know that I have the love of a good woman who's put up with me for 42 years. And then there's my wife. Hey, I'm here all week. Try the veal. There we go. I have friends and family who love me and put up with me. I have a God who has guided and provided for me in the greatest country this world has ever seen. I am not rich, I am not famous, but I am the luckiest guy on the planet, which, by the way, is suspended in space, hanging by nothing. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. It is. So don't forget all that. How many times how many times your heart beat every single year? There was a quiz and you failed. I'm so sorry. 36 million, don't forget that. I will close with this. During COVID, we all made it through. Thank the Lord. We made it through, but we all did three things. Watched too much TV, ate too much, talked about exercise. My wife and I did all three. Why is it that every program I see today, the acting technique seems to be mumbling and whispering? Do you have I can't understand anything anybody says anymore. I keep turning the TV up louder. I can't understand them. I finally put on subtitles. It just said, your guess is as good as mine. So my wife and I watch a lot of classic old movies. We love them. We can understand them. It's a lot of fun. And we watched The Wizard of Oz for the umpteenth time. And when we watched it, I'm watching it going, you know, they would have to totally change this to do it for today's audience. So tonight, I'm going to close with the totally inappropriate, equal opportunity offender, wonderful, woke Wizard of Oz. Somewhere there's a nirvana where everything is free. There's a land that I've heard of where they tax the rich and give all their cash to me. Dorothy, you better find a safe space. There's a Twitter storm coming. Toto, everything's in color. I don't think we're in a red state anymore. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Golly, are you witch shaming me? We represent the gluten-free lollipop kids, the non-GMO gluten-free lollipop kids. I identify as a Keebler elf. Who killed my sister? I'll get you, my pretty, and your emotional support dog, too. You have no power here. Dorothy's gone viral. Still, I'm feeling victimized by her microaggressions. You need to go see Dr. Oz. He is a TV show. We believe everything he says. We're off to get prescriptions from the wonderful doctor named Oz. We hear he has some powerful pills. If ever some pills there was, if ever some pills there was, the doctor prescribes them all at once because they give us a legal buzz. Scarecrow, weren't you leaning to the left? Oh, sometimes I lean to the left, other times I lean to the right. I only wish I could make up my mind. CNN and Fox are matching, wild plots they're busy hatching, dissing all whom they disdain. Every day they come calling and they say the sky is falling if I only had a brain. Why look, it's a man made out of recycled plastic bottles. Essential oils, essential oils. Here's some peppermint and some CBD. There, you're as good as new. Good as new. Bang on my chest if you think I'm as good as new. And be dragged down to HR for sexual harassment? I don't think so. Endangered lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Endangered lion, put him up, put him up. You didn't have to hit me. I'm calling PETA. No one gets to see the great and powerful Oz without first downloading the app and making an application online. But she's hashtag Dorothy. The social influencer? Why didn't you say so? Come on in. If I were king of social media, like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, I'd command each app to be clean, not foul, and my tech know-how and my postings would all sing. If I were king. Come forward. I can give you what you seek, but first you must bring me the solar-powered broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the far left. Her name is Nancy. How about a little fire, Scarecrow? Water? Oh, you cursed brat. I'm melting. Along with the polar ice caps, I'm melting. What a world, what a world. I'm so sorry. We didn't realize she was water intolerant. May we have her broomstick? Of course. Do you want to use PayPal or Venmo? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He's working to make Oz great again. Why, you're not Dr. Oz, you're Donald Trump. That's right, I'm the greatest wizard that Oz has ever seen, and I'm building a wall, and it's gonna keep out all flying monkeys, and Kansas is gonna be huge, and Kansas is gonna pay for it. It's gonna be huge. You're right, Uncle Donald, there's no place like home. The Wizard of Oz, if it was written today. There we go, all right. And that's it for me. I'm done. Thank you so much. Okay, that was the first run through. Let's do it again. There we go. That is it. Thank you. I do want to give just a big hand to Ron. And I know Ron doesn't do it himself, but he is the one that does it himself. So it's just Ron Strand is absolutely fantastic in this. So, yeah, Upper Room has been just a joy over the years, and I know he's moving to Nashville, and I'll never see any of us ever again. And that's going to be, no, he's going to come back one day a year, and come back. But anyway, it's been a pleasure to perform for you. Thank you so very much. If you want some of my stuff, just take it and just say, you're a Christian, you're forgiven. And but if you want to support my new grandchild that we found out we're going to get in about another year or 6 months, you can do that over there. Anyway, I'm RobertGLee. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.